Ooh, skitty pow pow. Hey everybody, welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir, and I will be your game master and host for this episode 163 of Brise's Tale. And as always, my good buddy Max is here to play the beautiful and talented paladin Brise. Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope you're having a great evening and ready for some Karandrin.
And why don't you remind us, Max, what we were doing last stream? We had to skip some for some travel, of course.
So last stream we find ourselves back at Mia Gral's keep after a little bit of a extended leave on a mission with Doshrik. And we do have some new directives coming down from the chain of command to investigate some of the giants who occupy the valley close to Mia Gral's domain. There's I'm assuming a female giant named Lady Crom, and she has a house of other giants, and we know her to be very powerful, able to wield some magic, obviously has some political influence as well. We've seen her trading and with other tribes of giants, I suppose. And so anyway, I was given a task to patrol or to monitor their patrols and to find out if there's what kind of plots the giants might be planning. I think specifically they told me just to keep an ear out for any meetings with other giants or any plans to, invade or encroach on Mia Gral's lands would be the what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And then also potentially another threat to Mia Gral's domain. We heard rumor of a man named Ivar, who is an older goblin who's been spotted around town in Balabry, kind of asking people for information, who comes and goes from the keep. And we ended up finding him at a tavern called the Traveler's Pot and struck up a conversation, and seems to be pretty cagey, calls himself a dealer in jewels, but really he's actually keenly interested in me for some reason we're not sure of yet. So we left off last session kind of wrapping up conversation with him and agreeing to meet at a later date. But we're going to secretly track him to his home and see if there's anyone he reports to get an idea of what his true motives are. So, and it's kind of later evening, I believe. So I met Kepik at sundown earlier. So, and I assume we've been talking for a little while in town. So it's got to be after dark at this point.
Right. And there's certainly, there's certainly reason to be wary of anyone asking too many questions about you.
Mm-hmm.
After your dealings with Kralum and his henchman, Kralum being a very powerful demon from another realm. And so we know that Kralum has other mortal beings in his employ, though how many we don't know, after you've dealt him significant blows here in the town of Balabry.
Right.
So there's always a possibility that this has to do with Kralum, or it may have to do with neighboring lords interested in you who are not friendly to Lady Mia Gral.
Either way, definitely dangerous.
Right.
Definitely a concern.
Right. So he takes his leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know that he's got He's renting a house at the edge of town, right?
Yes. One thing I forgot to, I think we talked about last time, like if he's aware of, what's the word? He's of the arts of any way, right? A spellcaster, knows any magic. That'd be hard to tell. But does he have anything that looks magical on him? Do I get like the feel of magic from anything? He's nicely dressed, and he has that black cane.
He does wear an amulet. The appearance of which reminds you of something you've seen in a magic shop. But you can't place what it is. Let me see if I can find a more formal way of determining that, really, before I go off half-cocked.
Excuse me, could I touch your amulet?
Right.
It's not too forward.
Roll for me.
35.
Moderately powerful amulet. It's not a low-end item.
Okay.
It is definitely magic. You recall it sort of having to deal with like travel in some regard.
Okay. Well, I'll let him take his leave. And I'll have Azrael would be outside already. I presume, right? Don't want to bring a cat indoors.
Well, I mean, a lot of places won't care. I mean, if it's a cat, that's all it's going to do is eat rats. And so,
well, then I'll just send out Azrael right after him, after just 10 seconds or so, and have him look around, see if he can spot what direction Ivar heads off in.
Can't see him, but can smell the direction he went.
Okay. So I will send Azrael in that direction and spy around a little more.
He seems to have cut round back behind the traveler's pot.
Okay.
And has gone down an alley. This is not the direction you would take to go to the north edge of town where his house is.
Right. So I'll start following him, staying, probably a good 50 feet behind Azrael. I'll keep my hood pulled down as well, just in case.
You want to
have all my adventuring gear on me. Yeah.
Is there anything you want in your hands, or do you think that'll look too provocative?
Yeah, we'll just go barehanded. But I got all my weapons on.
I'm gonna go jazz-handed.
He turns back. He just sees me coming down the alley.
Threatening? Yes. Worrying? Yes. Dangerous? No. Entertaining? Yes.
What is it in Hitchhiker's Guide? Mostly harmless.
Mostly harmless. That's right.
Jazz hands.
I haven't read those books in a while. I'm probably overdue. So
Yeah, they're worth a reread. They're still, God, they're funny even now. It's crazy. I forgot how old they are. They're over like 20 years old.
oh, they're much older than that. They've got to be close to 40.
Wow, in 80s? I thought they were like 90s. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
um, Asriel.
Start stream and then the cats decide to make so much noise. I hope that's not coming through. But
No, it's not. It's barely noticeable. The so Asriel stops and follows the scent to back behind the tavern.
Mhm.
Is it a tavern or an inn? I forget.
It's an inn because I actually got a room here.
Yeah. um, Ivar is meeting with another goblin in
Okay.
the back of the inn. They have not spotted Asriel. Ivar's back is to Asriel. The other goblin is facing Asriel, but not noticing.
All right.
Roll for me.
83.
Oh, I've forgotten her name. The Kralum's henchman that he now inhabits. The
Ordia.
Ordia. This is
was her other name.
right. Ordia's. This is clearly a staff member you saw working at Ordia's manor.
Okay.
You remember seeing him when you first were spying on Ordia's mansion. This is what I should do.
For all our viewers, Ordia was, I think, a copper, worked in like a barrel making, barrel
Cooper.
selling barrels. Yeah, Cooper, not copper. Selling barrels, and Kralum, the demon lord, had, I guess, possessed her or influenced her in a way to work against me, and so we drove her out, and her properties were seized, but she went missing. This was, I guess, a couple months back in game time.
Yeah. So Azrael can clearly hear what they're saying.
Okay.
Where do you want to position yourself?
I will be. I mean, could I actually be back in the traveler spot? Is it?
Yeah, that should be fine.
I'll just hang out near the front.
Okay.
I don't want to be walking in and out again. I'll just kind of pretend like I'm, taking in some night air.
So to really sell the idea that you're taking in night air, you just go.
Oh man, what a night!
Exactly. So Ivar is saying she's definitely on to me. It's not an accident that she was there tonight. And the other goblin says, Brise in the traveler's pot now. And Ivar says the very same. She tried to play very coy, but my questions must have attracted attention. She wants to. We've arranged a meeting in 5 days. And there, if Lady Ordia wishes to set a trap, it would be ideal. The other goblin shakes his head. Lady Ordia is not ready to take such a move. She's still setting up house.
Mm. Hey, Gwen. That's me. I was been murdering my cats, actually. They won't make any more noise now.
It's all that ruckus. Then what's to be done? I can't handle Brise on my own. And the lady did say that she was particularly dangerous. The other goblin says, I'll try to get you an answer. It's all I can say. We may have to let the opportunity pass. Or you may have to avoid the meeting altogether. But you're a skilled spy. You could also use the opportunity to find out how much she knows. Those soldiers you've bribed in Miagraw's keep, surely they can keep.
They're just digging their own grave.
Surely they can be used to evaluate her intentions and how much she really knows.
Sometimes they get a little wonky. I need to.
Mine are the same way.
Probably. So. Thanks for making mine look better.
That's what I'm here for. I'm a good example of a bad example. That's what I tell people. They both sort of pause, lost in thought. The other goblin says, return to your home, Ivar. I will try to have instructions for you in a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, try to reach out to your goblin soldiery. Redouble their efforts to find out her plans. Takes out a small pouch, clearly filled with coins. So, Quinn's got some advice for you there.
My mama always told me, never put off till tomorrow people you can kill today. Very true. Unless those people are more useful to me alive.
Mm-hmm. They part ways.
Mhm.
Both look around them cagily. Both of them overlook Azrael.
Because I got to make a choice now. If I want to keep tailing them, should I tail? Probably the staff member would lead me to somewhere closer to Ordia.
Although it could be a long, I mean, it's going to take him a couple of days to get answers.
True. Yeah, he's probably not in town.
You just have to be ready for a lengthy trailing.
Right.
You know?
Or I could try to charm him if it seems like he's not has any magical, magicalness to him,
Right.
resistance or otherwise.
Right.
And trim him then and there.
Um,
Let's see if we can do that. So I'll wait for them to separate and then have Azrael follow after the staff member. And I'll follow after him.
Ivar is cutting down the back alley after passing Azrael. The Ordia's servant is
Oh, wait a second. I forgot. I think is charm in my tome. Oh no, way of the spirit. Okay, great.
he is filling his pipe and clearly, thinking.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
Could I find a way to get behind him and cast charm?
His back is to the inn, which
Okay.
means you can come down him from the sides.
Right.
Remember that, it's dark and his vision is unimpaired, completely unimpaired.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He is a goblin. So
right.
I'll wait. Brise is impatient, but let's see if she can wait where she is at the front of the inn for the guard to start moving so I could get behind him and cast a spell. So that'll be a lot. Feel like it'd be more successful than standing in front of him, waving my hands around.
You could do it from the side alley, just from around the corner.
Right. So we'll give it a little bit, a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And if he's not moving, we'll try it from his periphery.
He is smoking contentedly. You are definitely getting impatient. Takes out a hip flask, takes a drink. He is in no rush.
All right. Let me step around the side, try to lean out and cast my spell here.
Need my book.
I'll have Azrael, as I come around, I'll have Azrael leave the alleyway just so we're not seen together.
Okay. Just go further back toward the front.
Yeah.
How many PowerPoints do you want to put in?
So it's level 4. We'll put in 6 PowerPoints. Make it a level 10.
Range. All right, roll it up, sir.
This is why I wanted to wait. It's a 5.
See.
But with my sorcerer's spear, that's still a fumble, right?
That's still a fumble.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I haven't fumbled a spell in a while. I was due as they say in gambling, it's bound to happen eventually.
There is a flash. You were knocked backwards. $13 damage.
Okay.
You are sort of shaking it off. You're sort of on your butt, leaning up against the next building. A hand comes down and helps you up, asking if you're okay. It is the goblin servant, and looks at you full in the face, and having never seen you, doesn't recognize you.
Well, that is incredible.
I mean, clearly he's struck by you. You can see him just searching your face,
Right.
but he does not recognize you.
I'll accept, his hand and stand up, and it's these darned cobblestones don't have eyes like you do. Can't see in the dark.
There was a flash. Did you drop your torch?
No, I didn't see any flash. Maybe one of the. No, I don't say anything.
There's a definite smell of smoke. Maybe he shrugs it off and helps you to your feet.
I mean, I could just threaten him here and now. Does he, looking at him closely, does he seem to be of any kind of martial skill, or again, any threat potentially?
You sort of, as he helps you up, you sort of take the opportunity to sort of grab his arm.
Yeah.
It's not a man who's done very much manual labor.
Okay.
So straight civilian, it would seem. He's going to be quick, given that he's a goblin, but yeah, you don't think he's particularly any sort of threat.
Okay. I mean, Brise has never threatened anyone before for information, but there's certainly always a first.
You're going to have threats that are going to outweigh those of
A servant of a powerful lord.
right. Although, terror of the moment beats terror
Right,
in the
that's what I was
future.
thinking.
Yeah, you've lost your ability. I mean, you've lost your anonymity, but you still have Azrael.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know.
I mean, I could just try again, honestly. I could just be on my way and then wait for another opportunity. What's the chance that I fumble again, right? How many times have I fumbled 2 spells in a row?
Magic is difficult. I mean, that's the thing is, he asks if he can walk you to a pub and get you a drink or anything.
I say, no, it's fine. I'm just staying at an inn right up the road here.
Very nearby.
And I'll make to take my leave.
Even with a plus 25 to identify you because of descriptions and just hearing about I rolled an 11. And he just, and part of them, sure, is because he was out of sorts because of the flash.
Sure.
And he was very startled. I mean, I rolled.
He's just like, I left my spectacles at home. I don't.
That's right. It's like, are you okay, little boy? You're like, yes.
Yes. Crouch down.
Yeah. He takes you to the end. You're having to walk on your knees. Everyone else is like sensing something's off, and not him.
Oh my god. So we'll try to, just wish him a good night, and I'm gonna go back around the corner of onto the main road.
I don't suppose you have any potions or anything that would help the situation. That was just
Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing that would give me information out of him, right?
right.
I mean, do I have a potion of sleep? I could kidnap him.
Yeah.
Detect truth, shield spell, guises, haste, spider climb.
You just drink spider climb. Have you ever thought about this? And you just climb all over the walls, just freaking out.
Yeah, night vision, chameleon, potion of flight, potion of sneaking, sustenance, protection, lie detection. Frozen prison. I just encase him in an ice block and just carry him away. I'm sure he'll survive that.
Drag him down the street.
Yeah, no, nothing really. Okay, well, maybe I'll just relay this information to Fraldrum, and assuming we'll probably have another opportunity anyway.
Right.
We're more prepared. Don't want to put myself too much at risk.
Yeah.
At least I've gotten a good picture of this guy's face, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it might be too late, but could I have asked for his name? So
yeah, no, I think just
before
both of you being sort of out of sorts, social niceties get overlooked, and so as your composure comes back, I think it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
His name is Tanley, Tanlee.
Ivar and Tanley.
Excuse me.
Tells me his name is Tanley. All right, then I'll take my leave, and we'll go back into the traveler's pot.
You could just ask more questions. Are you from around here? That kind of thing. And he might drop like where he's working now and things like that,
I'm a little worried he might recognize me, through our conversation. But
okay, no, I see what you mean. Play it cautious. Sure.
Yeah. So I think I'll just go back into the inn here.
He goes back down the alley, picks up his pipe that he dropped, and go back into the inn. Do you want to leave Azrael out there to watch him?
Yeah, sure.
He
meets anyone else.
He knocks out his pipe and refills it again. Gets it lit, and cuts through another side alley behind the traveler's pot, going to the street behind. Azrael sort of stays one, wall behind him, watching him from corners. And he reaches the Straight, turns left, and you lose sight of him.
Okay.
Bring Azrael back.
Yes. And then I guess we'll retire for the night if I can sleep after that.
You know, what's funny is you have to go open the door for Azrael. I never thought about that, but it can't just make it into a building. You have to go open a door.
Well, you've seen my cats; they're pretty good at
Opening doors.
Although that's some probably doors at the inside of a building are lighter than doors at the outside, right? They're more
Yes.
so
Yeah.
they're heavier on the outside.
Right. Yeah, your interior doors, at least modern interior doors, the interior is largely cardboard.
Yeah, flimsy.
Yeah. The two soldiers are still here as you come in.
Ooh, I forgot about them. That's a good. I should talk to them. Have I? Do I recognize them? Have I seen them around the keep?
They don't seem familiar.
Okay. So I'll sit down with them and say, "Interesting fellow, Ivar."
Interesting enough with his drinks. They're nice and toasty, both of them, which could play to your advantage, definitely.
Yeah. So I say, has Ivar been talking to you two for a while now? Has he offered you anything more than just drinks? Seems very, very generous man.
Well, this is the second night we've seen him. Good sort. We always chat him up. He's always in for a good time, and so are we. So it's a match made in heaven.
Is this an innuendo? I'm not sure I understand.
He's always ready to drink.
What is he drinking?
Whatever it is, it has a Mickey in it for everybody else. So that's Ivar is very open in his sexuality. I see, all the men love Ivar. I'm going further down that hole, aren't I? I'm just
keep deeper and deeper.
That's right. I just saw Ivar out back in an alley with a guy. What's your take on him, my lady?
I just say he seems to be. I've just noticed he's very chummy with a lot of the soldiers. Curious if he's been seen talking with any in particular.
Well, we don't want to get anybody in trouble. Nothing wrong with taking a few drinks off a fella, is there?
I mean, of course not. No, just well, we're going to take the other approach instead of, well, if either a few people get in trouble or the entire guard gets replaced.
Maybe. You would have got that route? You're like, hey, look, loose lips, thrust hips. That's what I've heard about Ivar. And
I just say, well, I think Miagral would really like to know who which of her soldiers are truly loyal to her.
The two guards glance at each other. They're like, no. And they lean in. They're like, you're not saying he's a spy.
If I say he is, then that might make it harder for him to get into the keep. I'll just say that I think. Oh my God! How can I concentrate when the brawl going on behind me? I'm not sure. I just think he's definitely been targeting some more than others, and I'd just like to know who. To know what kind of questions he's asking them.
They look at each other. They're clearly worried they're just going to get their buddies in trouble. But they likewise don't want to be involved.
Gotta put them on the spot.
Yeah.
I cast charm.
You remember one of the guards was kind of quiet, kind of grumpy and quiet. And he speaks up and says, I'll not have anything to do with bringing trouble to Lady Meagraw. I won't have it. And he says, my comrades be damned, the two that he speaks most commonly with, even giving him some coin. Bavro, he mans one of the towers, during the day. And Chednar. She's chief of the bowmen on the front wall.
Okay.
I'm not saying they've done anything wrong.
And I say, I promise I, won't, we'll say the same, just thank you for your honesty.
And he turns to his buddy and he says, you better not be taking any more drink from him either. Yeah, his loyalty was really high.
Yeah.
And he was like, not having anything to do with this if there's even a whiff of trouble.
Now that I think about it, I probably do want to be. I am concerned for their safety too, because it's if Kralum is behind this, then this could be something really big and dangerous. So I do say that. I think that's pretty wise. Ivar, I myself don't want to know what Ivar is getting mixed up in.
Do you want to counsel them though to maintain appearances for Ivar, except for drinks? But by the same token, they don't need to be spreading word about Ivar,
right?
Because your hand will be tipped,
right? So say, but just keep as you are. Nothing, no rumors need to be spread.
The grumpy one hits his comrade. No backroom chatter. He's like, all right. Um, he goes, as long as we can keep taking drinks from him, I'm fine.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirits.
That's the spirits. Actually, I'm drinking ale.
It's super humid today. My glass is dripping all over me. It's ridiculous.
All right. Anything else I want to ask these guys? I think it's probably good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like anything they've noticed about Ivar's habits.
Mm-hmm. I guess I ask if they've seen anyone from Ordia's staff around. Remember the incident with Ordia a while ago? If you've seen anyone, I guess she wouldn't have her own colors, right, or crest. It would just be
no, I mean she might have a family crest, but it would be used at her home pretty well only.
Right. And she wouldn't even go out abroad with that, knowing what position she's in. So I just say, have you seen anyone you might recognize from Ordia's staff around?
The chattier of the two says, yeah, there are a couple in town after whatever trouble, whatever heresy Ordia was responsible for. They were cleared by the temple. They're having a hard time finding work, as you might imagine. A couple of maids. I think I heard that a liveryman found work at a stable on the edge of town.
Okay.
Well, we got booted.
Well, that was interesting.
That was it was very unusual. Just drop kicked us all.
I think Ordia's on to us. We got to go fast.
Yeah, that's right. Reaching out to our dimension now. I mean, that's power.
Okay.
Karandrin role playing is so compelling that it affects reality. That's what we've learned today. Do you want to give the description of the guy you met in the alley?
I don't think so. I think that's maybe, again, stirring the pot too much.
Okay. Yeah, anything else for them?
I think that's all. So I'll take my leave, wish them a good night, and I guess I need to find a way to get this information to the keep safely. It'd be better to do it myself. Can't really encode names, right?
No, but I mean, it doesn't sound like Ordia has a major network in place.
Right.
So it might be fine to send a runner.
Right. Even if I put the names of the guards in it, they might not think twice about it.
Right.
So. Okay. So I'll, if there's anyone this late willing to deliver a note, I'll write one up to Fraldrum. So I'll mention that seen some of Lady. Well, I guess there's a man named Ivar looking for information. Seems to be connected to Lady Ordia. And two guards, Chevnar and Bavro, are definitely taking coin from him.
They rouse a young goblin from bed and
Give him a silver piece. Make sure this gets straight to the keep.
he passes the silver right over to his dad. He knows the deal there. And off he runs.
And the dad goes to the bar and buys as much as he can drink immediately.
Paying himself back. He said he gets it at cost. That's fantastic. So head archer for the front wall. That's going to be something to keep in mind.
Yeah. That's a pretty good view of who's coming and going from the keep.
So, yeah, so sort of head to bed, I guess, right?
Yeah. You get some sleep for tomorrow. Going to be marching out into the wilderness.
Right. I know
I should probably say in the note, if we can redact that, just say,
yeah,
leaving, for the Crom business tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Crom's Valley, if you know what I mean.
Crommy business.
That's right. I know it's a little early, but it's a logical place to take a break. You think that's cool?
Yeah, sure.
All right, gang, we're gonna go refill our drinks and stretch our legs. So just bear with us for a few minutes, and we'll be right back with you.
Oh yes.
He is, by the way, naked from the waist down. So you're really lucky he didn't go higher with that. So just bear with us a few minutes, gang. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Let's get Max back here. There he is.
You.
So, straighten my camera a little bit there. So, all right. So you are retiring for the evening, and um, we're just gonna put you to bed.
Thank goodness. I'm exhausted, for one.
All right, roll it up.
If only I could sleep in game and not be tired in real life. 42.
You wake up at dawn.
3.
Not feeling great.
13.
No dreams of significance.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a little fatigue and malaise going on.
Ooh, not the malaise. Does it feel
Malaysian? So stupid. Sorry.
Yeah, I've become Malaysian.
That's right. That's it.
Most likely explanation. Does it feel like anything unnatural? Or potentially just something I might have caught?
It reminds you in some ways of the undead influence of the soul, but that kind of also feels like that sort of big rundown feeling also kind of feels like general illness.
Yeah.
So it's hard to distinguish, but you can't help but make the comparison. So.
And you're at 50 max exhaustion. Like, whoa.
Did I not mention that part?
Okay. Okay. Well, nothing I can't press through, I imagine.
Right.
So we will get some breakfast downstairs, wash up, gear up, and then teleport out of there.
Okay.
To Crom's Valley, or to the valley of the Obrieve. Although I have to remember, did we confirm if I do remember the spot or not? Because like we said, it's I need to remember the natural space, right? Not necessarily the
right, because the features they're the man-made features, if we can stretch that definition. They are they're all gone, so as landmarks for a teleport, they don't really work. Yeah, I'm not having much luck. So,
yeah, anything distinctive in the valley? I don't think there was.
So I rolled a 1. So
Obrieve is appearing in the most bland valley. We really got to spruce this place up.
Are these valley walls glass? I don't really odd.
I never even thought about it, but like, what if like Obrieve is appearing over this gorge? It's going to be difficult. So they like build all this infrastructure around it.
That's right.
Obrieve is appearing in the middle of the ocean.
Well, you did that one time, remember? That's south of Theaxia.
Right, that's right. They did mention that.
They had to build a fleet of ships to observe Obrieve's passing.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Iron Empress's temple,
right,
is one valley over, and so, and you used it to get to the valley before. It's going to be a couple of 1, 2, 3 teleports pretty easily.
Right.
But it would get you there. So
yeah, I mean, assuming all those teleports are successful, once I am there, I don't have to really use magic anymore. So
right,
not a bad option.
Yeah.
By the way, am I fully healed from yesterday?
You are.
Okay.
It's interesting, because of the way that I've decided to run magical fumbles in the game and to make them more common, spellcasters must have very scarred hands. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
I mean, if you fumble one of 10 spells, that's one magical mishap potentially a day.
Yeah.
Pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, same with like training with weapons, though, right? All you need to do is slip once, and your
Gotta,
toes are done.
yeah. Yeah. Nick an arm, nick a leg.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm in sparring with a partner, you know. So, yeah, you eat 2 copper. Anything of interest? Nothing particularly striking in the commons room. Draw attention. No adventurers. Moderate business. No one approaches you. Make sure that Azrael is fed some bacon.
Tuna bacon, thank you.
That's
Any
right.
finest.
Veal. He will only eat veal.
And then like you kill like slaughter the baby cow and like serve it to Azrael, and he's like, not young enough. Not veal anymore.
Really, he's like not just a snob. He's just cruel because he's a cat. You know.
I want this cow to have been tortured. I don't want to taste its suffering.
Do you remember that? I'm trying to think. I think it was more than 10 years ago. The guy put like a GoPro or something on his cat, and then watched the cat's whole day. Does that sound familiar?
No.
It was fascinating because it was his cat, and he would let it out during the day and then come home.
Right.
And I found out that there were 3 other neighbors who thought it was their cat, would take them inside, play with them, feed it.
Oh my God.
We learned, at least if you can take this as a generalization, we learned that cats kill about 5 times more often than they eat. Like they just kill to kill. It was just very eye-opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be 10 years ago at least.
Wow.
So like, if you ever see cats referred to as like a serial killer, like on a t-shirt or a meme or something, that's where that came from. Is from their
Okay. Yeah.
from their propensity just to kill and just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
For
Okay.
practice or for instinct or whatever.
Yeah. So and you can see them do it for something like snakes or something where it's like, no, this is dangerous to me and my kind.
Maybe we're bred for that, but
Yeah.
birds.
Yeah, right.
No, it's interesting.
Yeah. So
well, my cats aren't killing anything except my patience.
Your patience. That's exactly what I was going to say.
They are just content with not being aware of what's happening outside.
Yeah, they're killing you via blood pressure. That's
I open the door and they get scared. They're like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
There's a world beyond.
Yeah.
Please close the door.
Our kingdom.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So you just go back to your room and gear up.
Yeah.
And then teleport from your room.
That's what I do. Yep.
And to the
temple. We'll take as long as I can, concentrate.
Yeah.
And then teleport using my adder boots and teleport to the front entrance of the temple. That's a 14.
That barely gets you there.
Okay.
20 exhaustion.
All right.
And
then aiming is a 15.
Oh my Lord.
Goodness gracious. Off to a phenomenal start. Getting all the bad rolls out of the way. Next roll.
That's right. 200 will be your next roll. So where are you? It's going to be either near in distance or near in concept. Those are the two. Concept.
Oh, that's not the one I wanted.
Yeah.
If I end up in Pelka,
That's a possibility.
Oh my god.
But not this time. You are within sight of Pelka because you are at that cunningly hidden watchtower.
Mm. Well, was it a watchtower or was it just a house on a cliff? I guess that's a watch house.
No, it's a watchtower. It's carved into the natural rock.
Yeah.
There clearly an observation deck on the top.
Right.
So take your bearings. There is sound of immediate movement. What are we going to do? Through gaps in the trees, several hundred feet away, there's a group of two young ogres downslope from you.
Mm-hmm.
One is pointing right at you.
You mean at the house?
You're not in the house. You're outside of the house.
Oh shit. Okay. When you say two young ogres, how young are we talking about? Like veal?
I was gonna do that. I was gonna make the
Veal.
veal.
Are these like baby ogres? Or are these like ogres with a 5 o'clock shadow?
Yeah. Beginnings of a 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh man.
They lack they're just now getting the significant bulk of the ogre form.
Mm-hmm.
They are, coarse hair, sort of lumpy features, but they're only a few inches taller than you, as opposed to being a foot or two taller than you.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
How far away could they, if they ran at me, could they be here and around?
No, it would take them going uphill and through brush. It's going to take them a couple of minutes to get to you.
Okay.
Assuming there's a clear path. Assuming there's no obstacles they have to go entirely around.
Right.
Assuming a straight path, I guess is what I mean.
So they see me, but I'm not at risk of them.
A direct, not immediate combat. No.
Okay. Which means they hopefully can't see my face too well.
Yeah, this distance it seems unlikely.
So I'll go into the watchtower out of sight, and then we'll try our teleport again.
All right, roll it up.
And all places. 28.
Okay.
And a 69 for location.
Going for the Temple of the Iron Empress.
Right.
You appear, no problems. 12 exhaustion.
Okay.
You sort of go down on one knee and sort of observe things very quickly. You know,
Mhm.
you're on guard.
2 more ogres spot me right from the like. Oh my god!
No, it's 4. It's 4. Um, no sound of movement. No sight of trouble. Something has been piling stones at the edge of the woods across the stream. That's new.
Entrance.
Do you wish to examine it
Um,
or go about your day?
let's go about my day.
Okay.
So we'll try to find that first kind of bluff I teleported to when I
Yeah, the low mountain pass.
right, and that should just be point and teleport.
Yep, within
Lovely.
sight, so no need for aim roll. All right. Take your time. Take a few deep breaths.
87.
Nice. 9 exhaustion.
Okay.
You go across the pass so you have a clear sight of the next valley.
Mm-hmm.
There's the clearing where the religious gathering was for Obreve.
Yeah.
No movement or strange anything in the valley that you sort of give it a really careful look over.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking the last thing you want to do is teleport next to a giant.
I think I might even just take a rest here. I'm already at 59 exhaustion.
Okay.
Teleport, so I'll just rest for an hour or so.
Okay.
Kind of monitor what's happening in the valley. Find a good secluded spot.
Few minutes in, 83. A creature comes from the far side of the flying creature from the far side of the valley, slightly to your left. Passes over the mountains on the far side. It is large bird-like. Sort of get the sense of feathers. It leaves in its wake a fairly long trail, 3 or 4 times its length. The bluish mist.
Oh man, even chemtrails and Karandrin.
That's right. Um, 70. I gotta figure that out. At least from your perspective. It will fly fairly near you if it holds its course.
Okay.
You sort of crowd up under a tree. You want to take any other precautions?
Yeah, we'll take out my spear. Indeed, Obi-Wan Karen, that has saved my life more often than you think. I'm just gonna ignore that and keep going on my way.
Yeah, this is a world before it's a game. That's the thing to remember. Shit's not here for you to play with. Shit's here because it's got shit to do. So it does pass to your left over the mountains after several minutes. It is, but there's an absolute sense that it looks dead at you. And that is followed by a sense of cold that strikes you. And as it passes, you can kind of make out snowflakes falling on the upper slopes. Yeah, that's it, Obi-Wan. That was Tahid's main mantra as a role player.
Touch it.
Yeah. Let's go talk.
So that's better than mine. One more step.
One more step.
At least.
But you've not done that in a long time.
I think I learned my lesson a little bit.
It passes on.
Very cool.
You are at 79 exhaustion.
All right. So we will do a final teleport into the valley. I mean, I guess do I recognize Crom's Mountain from any kind of description?
From the orientation of the valley, you do.
Right.
I don't recall, Obi-Wan. Describe the circumstances. I don't know. There was the house-sized crystalline spider that he wanted to go talk to. And you guys were damn close to just threatening him to not do that. Let's go talk to it. No, please, let's not.
I'm sure he understands English.
Exactly. And not eating people. I'm sure he... So yeah, it's at the head of the valley is her mountain.
Okay. Oh, I should see my potion of many tongues and potion of hare's ear. How long does hare's ear last? I think it's only a few minutes, so I should save that. Do I know how long the potion of tongues lasts for?
It should be more than an hour.
Okay, but still not like the whole day. So I'll hold on to those. Only use them as needed.
Oh, the shoot, what was that called? I know what you're talking about now.
Call the earthen people.
Yeah, God, what is that called? It was this enormous metallic centipede.
Well, it's a good thing you have a whole database of your creatures that you.
Oh, that was before I kept the database.
Yeah.
So, so the plates on the back of this huge metal centipede, they would unfold, and the legs of the centipede are sort of, each one's a construct. And this became their shield. The back part became their shield, leaving a spine. And so they could be, a centipede or a partial centipede, or they could be an army,
right,
of constructs. And
shield wall of constructs.
And so this thing appeared because it eats magic, and there was an enormous magical source at this church temple at the top of the hill. And Tahid was like, let's go investigate this thing more. And I mean, they're outnumbered 100 to 1 or something.
Right. A centipede, so
yeah. And so And so they had made friends with earthen fae that occupied that hill. And so, but Tahid had the best rapport with it. And so they needed Tahid to summon this help because they could pass to the earth and escape the was it Sentinels? I can't remember. And he was like, "Oh, let's go investigate. Let's go talk to these things." And Obi-Wan's like, "Summon the Fae and get us out of here," you know. So
yeah, the Centennial would make sense. It's kind of like Sentinel, but 100, right?
I just can't remember. But
if that's not the name of it, that should be the name of it.
That's right. Getting flack from my players. What the hell? So, oh, good old Teed. Good times.
Good times. So I'm refreshing my memory. Right. So I've got the potions. I'll hang on to those. Did they tell me what direction like the patrols tend to go in? I guess I'll just go into the valley, right, and stick to the brush.
And the idea is that they patrol sort of the mountain and the base of the mountain.
Right.
And so you've got some walking to do even once you teleport down to the base of the valley, the valley floor.
I just want to make sure I don't teleport onto the mountain, right?
Yeah, that certainly feels too close.
Right.
No, that was not a good time. We were going to die.
So I will pick a good spot. It seems to be a good distance. Hopefully no wards in place, and teleport there.
You find a spot, clump of bushes surrounding a really tall boulder on the valley floor, so that you have some immediate cover visually. All right, so no aiming needed.
No, just a nice solid roll. So concentrate, and with my sorcerer spear, hopefully, 59.
Nice.
Looking for my power points.
10 exhaustion.
Put me at 69.
Make it without a problem.
Okay, I'll try to find some hiding immediately. Make sure.
That's why you went behind the boulder.
Right. Okay. And we'll kind of keep our eyes and ears peeled out for anyone that might have noticed me.
Yeah, there's nothing in here. They've done, the A1 and others did that whole clearing of the area. So there's, low cut stumps everywhere and brush that's been cleared away and everything. So there's several hundred yards of that. But there are boulders you can dash to and work your way toward thicker cover. And then begin picking your way to the mountain. There's definite evidence that the giants have been here relatively recently.
There's an enormous pile of giant dung.
I thought you were going to say dead.
Oh, they've been here already.
That's right. No decency.
Jurassic Park. That's one huge pile of shit.
That's right. I do love that scene with the Triceratops. Triceratops is my favorite. I love dinosaurs. Triceratops is my favorite. So I love the fact that they've got up and close, and I just love that. So, there are boot marks across the ground. One set of them is clearly a troop of giants. Roll for me.
8.
hard to tell how many. Um, at least 10.
Wow.
The um, and given that the house is supposed to be a house of somewhere between 30 and 50, something like that, that's a sizable force to send out.
Right.
Although it occurs to you, maybe that was the party that went and conducted the trade.
They crossed this area. That would make sense.
So you begin, making quick dashes to the next boulder. Working your way up the valley. So you kind of soon come to the edge of trees now, where you can, the edge of the forest, where your pace can now be sort of more regulated, more regular. Why would my thing, my chat doesn't scroll down to the last chat? So you just kind of see it jiggle, and you'll go, "Oh, I guess I have a new chat."
New chat. Well, don't worry. It's just from Scaly killing GNWBZWFTROED.
Man,
Like these bots, they start off strong and then they just don't know what to do at the end.
that's hilarious. In the woods.
I just need to say it for a second. I don't know who these bots think they're fooling. Who in the world would oh yeah, I definitely need to click on that link. Come on, man.
Well, that's like the
I get spam mail more convincing than that.
Well, the spam mail stuff. Like they do the typos and everything. They've got all the typos in them and so on. And apparently, according to some experts, that's deliberate.
Right.
So that they don't want to catch smart people because smart people are hard to catch. So,
right.
Kind
of like a type, like it kind of makes you, I don't know. Yeah. It just catches you off guard a little bit more.
Yeah. So it's aimed at people with less of an education who are more likely to.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
People who might not know the spelling or might not notice it as incorrect. Wow, interesting. That puts a whole new perspective on it.
Oh, sorry, Boyne. Yeah, it was.
It's a Twitch. They always come from Twitch. YouTube is pretty good about not allowing
them.
But
yeah.
Twitch is not.
Obi-Wan's going to go create a spamming ID and then start spamming us with stuff, and spamming us about services that Quinn can provide, just to rope him in on it.
Yeah. It's like, wow, the spam's getting very specific.
Pictures. Wow. Quinn appreciates that. That'll be great. So, I should have asked you before you even teleported. So, not that it's mattered, but now that you're entering the woods, what's in your hands? Let's get your state of readiness.
My hips. No.
I am fed up.
I don't need to be that quiet, right? I mean, I'm assuming these giants are. I don't know how good of hearing they are. I'll just have my speared shield.
Okay.
I'm probably more worried about whatever else I come across besides the giants, really.
Right.
So I'll have to keep my eyes peeled.
Roll for me.
Azrael obviously kind of walking ahead of me, scouting ahead.
Roll for me.
52.
So it does occur to you that if you were to get involved in combat, that is going to produce considerable noise. So
Right.
even if you can think you can take the enemy, um, there can be complications with that well beyond the enemy.
It might actually be better to have the sleep spell kind of prepared. If I could
Oh,
just be kind of reciting that in my head. So I'll still have my spear and shield out, but um, we'll see. We'll have that spell at the ready if I can.
it's going to be hard to have it ready with any sort of mechanical bonus and pick your way through a forest.
I understand. Yeah.
So, um, again, any potions here? I guess the icy prison might help.
Yeah. Potion of sneaking. Actually, a potion of ice prison would be good. Yeah, I could just immobilize whatever.
And then haul butt and just keep going.
Yeah. So we'll take that out. Kind of have it at in my pocket.
Yeah.
That would be a bad one to take a fall and shatter.
Yeah.
Oh.
How many exhaustion points did I gain from my imprisonment in ice?
You take a very long rest.
What did you do in the woods? Just chilled.
Yeah, just when you wake up, you're pretty sure it's August because the sun is hot enough to melt you.
Did I tell you my North Korea joke when
You
we
did.
were? Okay, yeah, I could remember. I haven't told it to Quinn yet, and I keep forgetting to tell it to Quinn. But I'll give him a call and tell him.
No, sorry. Well, I said the punchline. I don't know if Quinn's still watching, but hopefully he didn't spoil it for him.
So yeah, so in you go. So having to use the breaks in the foliage to keep your eye on the mountain to make sure you're headed relatively straight there.
Mm-hmm.
Roll to navigate.
23.
Make a little course correction. Roll again for me.
14. This is we should just call it there. I think these rolls are not.
Fortunately, it's hard to miss a mountain. It's just easy to miss where you want to go on the mountain. So
I was going to say, how hard can it be to find 10 giants? Come on.
So again, you keep drifting right. Which is a shallower slope of the mountain. So maybe that's okay.
Better progress, yeah.
Crossed a few streams. Roll again.
57.
Yikes. In edge of a glen, far side of a glen, there is a creature, sort of half quadruped, half crab, charcoal gray. Horns in the front, no visible eyes. Spines run down its back in 2 rows behind the horns. The arms are thick but sort of bulldog in posture. Quinn has been.
I saw the first comment and I was like, I don't understand. And then the second one, moving funds out of the Central Bank of Nigeria. That's good.
How princely of you, Quinn. That was. We should tell everybody that Quinn is Hispanic, and so his name should be pronounced Queen. You can convince people of that, surely.
Yes, Queen. Absolutely. No visible eyes, charcoal colored skin.
Sort of plates like a crab. Their arms likewise are plated. It is facing you. It has not shown any sign of seeing you.
How large is this creature?
About 6 feet wide, about 7 feet long.
Ooh, okay.
Comes up to about to your waist. Sort of very bulky. Nothing you've seen or heard of before.
I'll duck back into the brush and we'll observe it. See what he does.
Sort of lifts himself up. There's stuff underneath him or it. There's gore along his underside, and there's a distinct sense of a mouth in his undercarriage that was eating whatever he was squatting over. He turns after several minutes, repositions himself, lowers himself again on whatever carcass he's eating. No sound of cracking or eating, but you recognize now that little movements he makes must be him, maneuvering the mouth over the body. Roll for me.
1. No one's going to believe me, but I rolled at 100 right before stream.
Yes. That's funny, everyone.
You win. Sounds like Lewin. Is Quinn a goddess in Karandrin?
No. Quinn is a goddess everywhere.
In any game.
Particularly on the stage. He's just a goddess. Rises after several minutes. Turns a little bit towards you. His right side is now to you. He lifts himself up. And I should say it sort of waddles off. definitely a set of antlers were left with the body.
Mm.
Which it dawns on you, this thing has some way of bringing deer down, as unwieldy as it seems.
Yeah. Seems a little unfair, all these magical creatures against regular like deer and like wolves and
Yeah.
other natural creatures. So yeah, the deer population is endangered because of the lobster crabs
Right.
tackling them.
Um,
Okay.
it goes to the right side of the glen, makes his way sort of very carefully into the brush. You can only barely hear it moving.
Wow.
What would you like to do?
So he's going away from me.
He's going across, well, not across your path. He's going perpendicular to your path.
Right. So I should just, wait another minute till he seems to be clear, and then I'll continue on up the mountain. Add that to my notes of something to research.
Yeah. And a first, forest crab, question mark, maybe?
Charcoal forest crab.
Right. Give it a good space. Focus on Azrael to see if she can hear it still.
Mm-hmm.
She cannot. He cannot. Me and pronouns. I am so absent-minded about that stuff that, man, if I had a lot of transgendered colleagues, or
Well, it's clear you don't.
I know, because I would be terrible at it.
No, I mean, I know you're right. It's just kind of like that doesn't even matter to you to address a person,
Right.
just as the person, right?
But yeah, it's hard to juggle that in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at multitasking. I never have been. And that would be just another task to add to conversation and making
Right.
jokes and, all right. You're as confident as you can be that
The name Quinn is of Irish origin, meaning wise or clever. You made that up. That's not
you made that.
no way.
It's too clever. Um,
Yeah, the name Max means good at Karandrin. That's
that's what Kevin means. That's badly named.
all right. Well, sorry. What did you say? Okay, I keep making my way up the mountain.
Well, I mean, you're as confident as you can be that it's gone.
Right.
Did you want to send Obi-Wan lies? Did you want to send Azrael after it just to double check, or you just want to press on?
Yeah, I mean, no rush. We'll send Azrael quietly move through the grass, see if she can. I did it now. See if he can smell or spot a trace of him.
Scent is very faint, even where it's just passed. She enters the wood. He enters the woods. Damn it. She goes maybe 100 feet, spots it. It is lifted itself into a tree, just up against the trunk, right below the limbs, where the limbs start, and in the shade and against that bark, it is very hard to see.
Oh boy.
And you can imagine that thing landing on a deer on its back, and then it just bites the spine with whatever.
Brutal. Yeah. I mean, it probably weighs a ton, all that like plate and chitin.
Yeah.
Well, I'll as long as he seems to be resting, then I'll call Azrael back.
Yep.
And we'll proceed up the mountain. Now, I guess I do have to ask the question: how far up the mountain should I go until I see more signs of giants? I suppose.
I mean, that'd be an obvious one, but
trees.
I mean, it is possible on the rocky ground you may not see any. You know, they may not leave big impressions. You know, that might be flattened grass, but unless you can find a pattern of flattened grass, it's going to be tough to.
Right.
So
yeah,
it may be you have to stake out a position with a decent vantage point and hope that one of these 30 to 40 foot high tall bastards, you know, shakes some trees in the distance.
So we'll continue climbing the mountain until we get to a good vantage point where I could see most of the valley and potentially the other side of the mountain too.
It's probably gonna be later in the day before you're even well up the slope. You're definitely at the foot of the slope to the right of the mountain. You think about the direction that is. So that'd be the eastern slope of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Roll to navigate.
43.
Couple of escarpments that you are able to climb. They're 10, 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Send Azrael up first so you don't have any surprises at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Roll again to navigate.
64. Remind myself what my gloves are. Right, empowered archery.
It lets you put spells on thrown and items and missiles.
Yeah, actually, I have calm stored in it.
Oh, interesting.
So I could just cast calm from my bracers. Okay.
So, a rocky clearing up against some trees. Evidence of a campfire. Still warm.
A human-sized campfire?
Yeah. I wouldn't say, I would call it a bonfire if it were,
right.
That's a conflagration. That's what it is.
And they're like, oh, we need to find kindling. They're just like picking up little sticks.
That's right. why giants have tweezers, right? That and their beauty
Just
regimen.
for fingernails.
What if Quinn is actually just his variant on QAnon? That would be. He's hiding in plain sight. That's what I realized.
QAnon.
That's right.
QAnon.
Underneath the trees, there is a tent still up. I haven't had you, you're about 30 feet away from the tent when you see it.
Okay.
You should have held your hand over the fire and can feel the warmth from it. And you are looking around and you're like, oh, there's a tent still up. What would you like to do?
Any other signs of inhabitation? Like any weapons or anything left around?
No.
Okay,
There are evidence of footprints, normal size, nothing alarming. Places in the grass where it looks like someone laid down by the fire. But that tent is up and in good repair. I mean, it's
it could be someone in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, like over time, it hasn't gotten slack or anything.
Right. It was pitched.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have my spear and shield in hand, and we'll call out softly to, is anyone there? No, go away.
That's right.
Okay.
I was I've told you the story before. I was in a laundromat in college. And I was there with my girlfriend, and she was doing laundry or whatever. And there were these two little Latino kids, so cute. And they were playing on this sort of toy house that you could kind of climb through and stuff that the cleaners had up. And so they were sort of playing hide and seek in this little house. I mean, it's probably 7 feet across.
Right.
And the little girl would go, "Donde?" And the little boy would go, "No."
No.
It's over.
Like, bro, you'd stay hidden if you didn't say anything.
Right.
Also, that they're probably just on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah. If not for the little walls where they could just touch each other, it's such a small
really
little
cute.
place but I just love that. Sunday. No. I reject your question. So the tent flap opens with a scaly gray hand with claws, and out steps a Sith.
Oh yeah.
The lizard folk from the south. She stands, regards you curiously, lifts her hands in peace.
Good. I attack.
And says in very heavily accented facts, "What do you want?"
All right. Yeah. So I say,
"Well, do you want to end it right there?"
oh yeah, it is around that time. It's fun.
Yeah.
Can certainly do that.
Yeah. So we will pick up not next week, guys. I've got to cancel next week. I've got a conflict. But in 2 weeks, we
Oh,
will.
that's right. Kevin, I need to remind you that you need to tell them to cancel.
That's right. Um, but so in 2 weeks, we'll pick up with episode 164 and this conversation with this Sith woman, a lizard folk. And we hope you'll join us then. And we will continue exploring the mountain of Lady Crom and hopefully eavesdropping on some giant patrols, and learning anything we can about the exchange of tokens that happened with some other nearby giant clan. But thanks as always for watching us. We really do appreciate it. If you think we're doing a good job, like, subscribe. If you think we're doing a great job, hop the donor box and send us a little love. You got to check out Max's YouTube channel. You see the short link right there where he discusses the role of music and original soundtracks in video games. Thanks as always to Elliot Dunovitz for their terrific character art that we use for Brise almost every episode. And I've written a novel called A Shore Too Far that you can find on Amazon. So go check that out if you like fantasy literature. Max, why don't you say goodbye to these lovely people?
Yeah, it was a fun stream. Excited to see what happens a couple weeks from now. So y'all have a good night, and we'll see you then.
Thanks for everything.